Alright, let's finish this off. So I didn't quite work at first when I tried it out. The video I think was just cut off at the very end, but I didn't have much else to say. But what happened when I turned it on, the light didn't come on and I thought it was the batteries were flat, but in fact I'd short-circuited or something. But basically all that I had done is I had the 4017 turned around the wrong way. I'm always doing this. Just that they've got the little circle on one side and then they've got the little notch on the other side, and I'm just always getting confused by the circle. But there you go, it's flashing purple, so we know that the clock's going. We'll take this out for a second. So that's going to be my clock. So it's currently working. I believe that it's working. So the next step is to then take the outputs and send them across to here. We're going to need a whole bunch of these. So we're going to need 6 or 6. We're not going to worry about up and down because they don't really count. We're only going to worry about the ones that are hooked into the 74HC157 on the controller itself. I am going to, here we go, here's my test controller. So hopefully this still works. I think it does. Which is like a pretend controller for a Megadrive. Which does work. We've been through this. You can go watch previous videos about this. So what I want is a whole bunch of LEDs that are linked. Hold on, I'm going to do it this way. So instead of going to ground with my LED, I'm going to go to the 5 volts so that when the output is pulled to ground, there'll be a path which will light up the LED. So the important thing to remember in this is that when a button is pressed, that's when it goes to ground, not to a high voltage, which I always feel like, you always want something to go high when you're doing something and low when you're not doing something. It just feels like that's what it should be, but that's not how we're going to do things today. So we're going to just do 6 of these. I actually remember doing, because that's how they work when you actually program these things on the computer. You have to read them in, and they go low when they're pressed. And I just remember when I was programming Commodore 64s and probably Amiga computers, and I was always like, what? Oh, I'm always confused by these things. We are going to be doing some Commodore 64 stuff, at least at some point very soon. So that will be exciting. So one set of these things I only actually want 2 outputs from. But we probably should put in, just to see how this thing goes wrong, all 8. Maybe we should, we'll wire up 8. I haven't actually finished putting in the I haven't actually finished the LED part, and I'm jumping onto this. This is going to be super fiddly. Alright, so those 4 are going to go over to here, and then we'll need another 4 that basically we're going to ignore. That's 5. I'm always doing that. I'm always getting 5. Right. I suspect it's actually going to be quite hard at the moment to buy much off AliExpress, if it's, given the whole COVID-19 situation. When you watch this, it may be quite a lot worse, or it might be getting better. But I'm sure that we'll be able to. I've ordered. I'm glad my PCB that I ordered is actually on its way, and just managed to get in. Right, so the first thing, we're going to put these, hold on, we're going to get my LEDs. We'll use a yellow because there's a bag of yellow LEDs here. Is it going to work to put them across the middle, which is my plan? So like that. Yeah, I know, smart people have got to have it the right way around. Like little LEDs that are combined with their resistor, and then they can do whatever they, well, I don't, so, and I'm probably not, and I would cut the legs and do all these things, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to make up a PCB and send it off and get PCBs made of this and do it for everything from now on. So I actually do want to do my little LED matrix project Tetris game, go back to that, but I have the feeling that making that with like this style before it falls apart is going to be too painful. Whoops, that just fell off the thing. And I've just realized, of course, that I had another one of these sitting right here that I was going to use, and these ones do clip on and it would have been a bit neater and tidier, but that's okay. I have to go through and start dismantling my previous projects and putting them onto soldering them up in some form, and then getting back my breadboards. So these are a little bit squashed together, but that's okay. We're almost there. Well, there's 4. Oh, how have I done this? I think these are going to have to be ever so slightly further apart, because it's just not working. Because otherwise what's going to happen is when you see this on the camera, it's just going to look like a yellow LED lights up and you can't tell which one is which. And you'll just have to trust me when I say it's a different one to the previous one. Alright. Maybe we should stop at 4. So I was going to do all 8, and then hopefully 2 will be on all the time. And then we can just remove those 2, and then we'll replace those with the up and down via a direct connection from the controller, because those essentially are not doing anything special. Which seems like a strange thing. I don't understand actually why, or maybe I do understand why. Well, I don't understand. No, I do understand. I do understand. Well, actually, what I don't understand is why the 6-button output. I suppose it's because they did the whole. I'll explain what I mean in a second. I'm not really getting very far explaining anything. If they were going to do 6 buttons, I think we have time for a slight detour. If I can find the piece of paper. Like, with 6 buttons, if you'd included like another 157, then that could have handled this one as well, the up and down, and then you could have had select changing what up and down meant. So when select was high, then up and down could mean something different. But then I guess they couldn't have done that, could they? Because then they would have broken the compatibility. Alright, makes sense, fine. Okay, so that one's going to go to there. So this is the quick part. I'm going to turn it off now. I don't want to ruin the fun when one of these just randomly lights up. Though I still actually have to finish linking up the power rails. So, alright, U4, I think this is right. And those ones are squashed together. And we'll get these ones, can come across. So that one, as I said, I don't care too much about the order at the moment. I just care. We've got a few other things to wire up, don't we? We've got to wire up the 5 volts in the ground to here, so that there's actually power going into this thing. So what we will do is we will use this yellow wire to link up that. So that's the power for that stuff going through. If I turn it on now, hopefully 2 LEDs, we'll just test. So 2 don't come on. Well, that's a bad sign. Why do 2 not come on? Well, because it's not wired up to anything, so it's not reading any value, so that's probably why. Alright, so we have to actually plug it in a controller. I wonder if my one, how does my one work? I don't remember if it actually gives exactly the same. Inputs and outputs. Alright, so what we do need to go and get the last couple of things wired up. So the ones that's really important, we need to have ground for pin 8, which really, what have I done here? I think I've wired this up wrong actually. I've wired this way up wrong. No, I want those ones to actually go to the very end. Let's crazed. Okay, and wow, I can't actually get that. I'm not going to mess around. Okay, so this is pin 8. Pin 8 is going to ground. Pin 9 was wired up wrong, but now it's wired up correctly. Select is wired up, hopefully, the way that I want it to. It's like leapfrogging over to the 4001. Button B we'll assume is correct. So the 5 volts is, so the two that I really have to care about, and I'm a bit concerned by this, is, so the green one is 5 volts. Is this right? Right. And it's ground. It's ground also on this kind of thing too. I didn't notice that. Alright, well that makes sense to have the ground in the middle. So we'll take that and we're going to plug that one into the ground. Except I already had that one plugged into, that goes into 5 volts. This goes into ground. No, that's the wrong way around. Sorry. It's the complete opposite of the RS232. So that has ground as 5 volts, but the actual controller has the ground in the middle. So that's wired up, that's wired up. I don't have the last, I don't have left and right or up and down. Why don't I have up and down? Hold on. Yeah, again, I think I've done something a bit wrong. Yeah, I have. So these two wires are supposed to go here. So the white wires 1 and 2 are the up and down, and they don't depend on what select is, so it doesn't actually matter. We're not going to wire them up just yet. We will wire them up to the 2 remaining LEDs once we've determined that these don't actually work. So, and then might as well just plug the whole thing in and see what happens. So we'll plug this in, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to be honest actually, I'm just going to quit for tonight and finish it some other time. So let's come back here. What's going to happen when we turn it on? So hopefully 2 LEDs come on and they stay on, but they don't. There's power coming into here. We probably need to see if this thing is still working. So that's actually flickering along nicely, but we're going to change this resistor so that it's a lot higher up. So we'll use a, don't do that. Alright, so 32. I haven't actually pushed any buttons, have I? That's actually the thing. So there we go, it's a lot fainter. I can still see that, it's not so annoying. So if I press a button, literally nothing happens. Wow. Like, actual wow. So everything is still plugged in here. It's a bit squashed. But it still seems to be plugged in. Well, that's super sad. Well, we can test this in one way. We can just forcibly pull one of the inputs on this thing. So we'll just pick this brown one here. So this one here, so we're going to take the white. So we're just going to tie one of these inputs to low all the time, and nothing happens. We'll tie it to high, and nothing happens. So what have I done wrong on this side? Is there anything I'm doing? Like, I could have got these. I think I have actually got them. How do I want these to go around? I want them to go that way. What we need is, and honestly, I've completely, oh there it is. This is going to be tricky. Time to get the multimeter out and to do some testing, even though this thing is running out of batteries. It has been giving increasingly erratic values recently, so that's correct. That's fine. That's wrong. Okay, so it's reading on here 5 volts going into this LED, so it shouldn't be coming on. And that's coming out of here, and that's coming out of that output. So let's just quickly test this. So if it's facing this way, that output, that is definitely an output. I just hope that's an output. What if I got this completely the wrong? No, 3-state output. Ground data input. Oh, 3-state output enable active low. Wait, I did do that. It is low. It is low. That's being called low. So we know that the output works. And so I have to assume. Well, one thing we can do is we'll take the clock pulse out from. Oh, there we go. Something happened then. So I suspect that the problem is partly, which is these are the two that are obviously the wrong ones. So we might actually get some response. Yeah. Okay, so it's looking, it doesn't quite work. That's because I undid one of them. So I don't think this is going to be needed. I think we can kind of see where this is going. So if I plug that one back in. Oh, why is it on all the time? Okay, not what I was expecting. Right. I turned one off. How does it go off? Why don't these ones light up? So, oh, I know why they don't light up. So we'll just quickly put this one back to here. Alright, so now nothing should change. So these are the latched outputs. I might just reset them. These are the latch, so there's nothing on here right now. I was using the clock directly to go into the clock pulse. So I'm going to actually switch this one over. Oh, this actually looks a bit, there we go. So, whoa, 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 whoa. That one works, kind of. It's definitely not working the way it's supposed to. Alright, well, I'm going to try and work it out. I'm pretty sure that the clock pulse coming out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little LEDs and everything, and then I'm going to see that the clock pulse coming out of here is basically half the speed of the clock pulse going into it. So we'll see how that goes. I forgot where this is supposed to go. Or even what this is attached to. Oh, that's right, this is the clock pulse that goes into here. So we'll put that back to there. Alright, I'm going to put some LEDs on and then we'll do another video another time. It will work eventually. So thanks for watching and bye.